Hi folks, it's Evo here from Thundermist Lure Company, and welcome to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. And on today's episode, we're going to be fishing for carp, and I want to show you a different way to fish for carp for bite detection, which is very, very effective, because when the carp bite, sometimes there's no mistaking, they take your line and they run. But other times they'll strip your hook and you won't even know it. So the system that we're going to use today, folks, very simple. The T-turn, which is the key, tied on, that is a medium-sized T-turn right there, which is rated for 55 pounds, so it's plenty strong. Medium-sized T-turn down about 4 inches to a sinker, and then I've got a long line to a hook that I've got baited with corn. The line's about 2 feet long, and the reason for the long line is I want it to be sitting on the bottom. That's where the carp are feeding. But the difference today is I'm going to use a bobber. I'm going to use a bobber for bite detection, but you don't want your bait suspended like you normally fish with a bobber. I want my bait on the bottom. So if you see where my bobber is there, it's about 2.5 feet above. I know it's deeper here, so I'm going to drop it in the water and watch what happens to my bobber here when I drop it in. So I'm going to drop it in the water, and there goes my bobber. It's gone. Okay? So I know it's deeper than that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to raise my bobber up. Let's say another foot. Now when I drop it in, let's see if that's deep enough. There. See that? The sinker's on the bottom and my bobber is now floating nicely. That's how I want to be. And that's how you can tell. If you're fishing from shore, you toss your line out, and if your bobber goes down, you know it's not deep enough, so you have to lift it up. Once the bobber lies flat, that's perfect. And then all you do is watch the bobber, and when it goes down, set the hook right away. Don't hesitate. So I'm going to toss this out. I threw a handful of corn out earlier. So very, very simple now, and very easy to tell when you got a bite. So if you're taking kids out fishing, it's a great way for the kids because you don't have to really have a hard time with the bite detection. So right now all I'm going to do is sit back, relax. The sun is shining, keep an eye on that bobber, and as soon as it goes down, I'm setting the hook. Folks, my bobber just bolted down. Talk about exciting. This is exciting fishing. When you're fishing with a bobber, there's no mistake when you got a bite. And boy, did he take that bobber, just went whoosh, right down. There's no mistake about that. And I just laid into him and set the hook. And it feels like a decent fish. And as soon as I set the hook, he ran. He just took drag and he ran. Oh, this is a good fish. This is a nice fish, folks. Real nice fish. I'm running 100% fluorocarbon line. I'm running the Thundercarbon today, and I went with 15-pound test. And I'm using my spinning gear. Oh, this is carp fishing. This is a good fish. This is a good fish. I'm using a medium action rod, and you don't really need a heavy action because you're not really setting the hook hard. A medium action rod is really all you need. Oh, this is a big, strong, heavy fish. I gain on him a bit. What a fight. Carp fishing, folks, it's a lot of fun. You get a big, strong fight. They're big, strong fish. And even the small fish are big, strong fighters. And this one is giving me a workout right now. Oh, it's giving me a workout right now. He's going where he wants to go, and I'm trying my best to bring him in. But when you catch carp, you're in for a battle. And you know me, I love fishing for bass. Oh, there he is there. That's a good fish, but there's something about carp fishing. Okay, here he comes. Here he comes here. Oh, that's a good fish. That's a good fish. Come on, Mr. Carp. Into my little bass net. Come on. Oh, that's a big, thick, heavy fish. Wow. Come on, Mr. Carp. Holy mackerel. The size of this carp. Oh, sorry, cameraman. Look at the size of this carp. Oh, I am tuckered right out. What a fight. Oh, I'm using a size, oh, if I can get it out, size 4 hook. This carp is still full of tons of energy. I brought him in fairly quick in comparison. Okay, let me get this hook out. Oh, it just came out. Okay. Oh wow, this is a big, heavy fish. Oh, big heavy fish. This is too heavy. Can't even hold them. Come on, Mr. Carp. Okay, I'll rest you on my pants. Everything's washable. There we go, folks. First fish of the day. You gotta love that. On the bobber rig. Okay, let's get him back in the water. Oh, he tilted the whole boat down to the side. That was one heavy fish. 25, easy, 25 pounds. Big, strong, heavy fish. And the bobber rig is it's an easy way to detect that bite. And with this simple T-turn rig, the sinker I'm using, very, very light sinker. I don't want them to detect anything, so it's a 1/4 ounce sinker. That's all I have on there. And very simple fishing with corn. I'm going to bait this. I'm going to load that hook up entirely with corn. I don't want any of that hook showing. I want to put as much corn on that hook as it'll possibly hold. And that does two things. One, it hides the hook, but two, it gives the carp more corn to feed on, because they'll take a kernel at a time right off that hook. So I want a few kernels on there. Wow, I'm still excited over that last fish. What a fight. Okay, the other idea with the bobber, I just chummed the area and I know exactly where I chummed, and where my bobber lies, I know my line is directly below my bobber, so I know I'm sitting right on my chummed area. That's just another advantage of using a bobber for bite detection. You can also hone right into where you chum that area. I got a huge male on there, a big carp, a big male. He's really long. I don't know how heavy he's gonna be, but he's a big long fish. Oh, that was great. You know, we're using corn today, as I mentioned, but some places won't allow the use of corn. And you know what? You don't need to use corn. These carp will take a dough ball, or another very good bait to use are boilies. And we actually have a video on how to make your own boilies. If I think about it, I'll put it in the description for you, but boilies are a great bait to use as well. So if you can't use corn, don't worry, there's lots of other baits you could use. Oh, this is a nice fish. It's a nice fish. Oh, it's a big male. Big long male. Big long male. Okay, this is fishing at its best. It really is. He does not want to come in. I did the best I could to get him this close. Okay, let's see if he's gonna fit in this little net. Oh, oh, there's another jump. Carp jump just beside us there. Okay. Oh yeah. That's a big male. I think it's a male. Oh, that's another nice. Look how thick and wide the span of that fish is. Nice hook, right? That's what I like about these hooks, right in the side of the mouth. Got a rubbery mouth there. Okay, Mr. Carp. There's another big carp. These fish, folks, are heavy, thick. Look how wide that fish is. Wow. The tail, a big tail on them, and thick. These fish are really, really thick. Okay, that's good. Let's get that one back in the water. What a ride I'm having out here today. What a way to enjoy a nice sunny day like today. It doesn't get any better. This one's a smaller one. I wish you could have seen this one. My bobber was flat, and unlike the other fish, it didn't go right down. My bobber just went just like that, and I just leaned into him, and I got to tell you, this is not a bass, but he came barreling out of the water like a bass. totally surprised me. So it's nowhere near as big as that last fish, but was that ever exciting? He's been taking drag and running left and running right. He's over here now in front of me. Oh, he's going all over the place, folks, all over the place. There it is there. Oh, it's probably, you know, it's probably about a 5-pound carp, but he's fighting like a huge fish. And that's the beauty of carp fishing. Well, maybe a little more than 5. It's just so much fun. Okay, this one will fit easier in the net, although still a decent sized fish. Okay, in the net we go. There we go. In the net. This one fit a little better. It's still, I said, a smaller fish, but I guess we get spoiled. You know, when you're catching perch and that, and then you catch something like this, it's still a big fish, all in all. And the rubber net on these carp is actually perfect, because for most fish, anytime, if you can get a rubber net, they protect the fish a lot more than the old mesh style do. These ones with the rubber coating, perfect. Let's lip lock you and get you out. Okay, not as big as that last fish, but actually he's over 5 pounds, probably 6. Anyways, okay, maybe 7. There he goes. They get bigger as the time goes on. Okay, load it up again. Bobber's doing its job today. No question at all about bite detection. Very, very simple way to tell when I have a bite. This one's about this. I'm going to say about the same size as the last one. I just got a little glimpse of him. And again, my bobber, this was an interesting one. The bobber sat up, and then I waited, and it just kind of went, just started to slowly go down, and I set the hook on him. Bobber fishing is so exciting. I don't know if it brings us back to our childhood or what it is, but it's really, really exciting way to fish. Watching that bobber go down, it's really exciting. So not only is it great for bite detection and makes it easier, but it's just a lot of fun to fish with a bobber. Oh, this fish is just, these fish are really strong. Now, when we're fishing for carp, we're in here in this little boat. If you've got a canoe or a kayak to come into one of these little bays, you could have a lot of fun. A little car topper like this. It doesn't take much to get out here, and we're not far from shore. In fact, you could be fishing from shore today and still having just as much fun. But the whole key is stealth. You got to be quiet, very, very quiet. Carp spook easily, folks. They really do. As easy as this looks, they are hard to catch if you're not careful. So details are very, very important when it comes to carp fishing. Keep it quiet and keep your line. Okay, I'm using fluorocarbon line. If you're using braid, make sure you use a fluorocarbon leader or a mono leader, but you want to keep everything as less visible as possible. Keep as quiet as possible, and you'll get into some carp too, just like we're doing today. This one, oh boy, there he is there. This one is a smaller fish, I'm gonna say. Everything's relative, of course, but oh, he's not nowhere done, but maybe I can, okay, see if I can get him in here. All right, one more run. Bolting left, bolting right. That's a nice carp. There we go. Nice looking fish. Okay. There we go. Let's get him off the hook. Now there's a typical common carp right there. And I say common carp. These are not the carp that are invasive species. These are common carp. They've been around forever. They're available all throughout North America. Chances are you've got them where you're living. And they're a lot of fun to catch. So they're not the invasive species type. It's called a common carp. And I'm having common fun right now. Okay, the hook I'm using is a size 4 hook, and my preference actually is a size, I like a size 2, which is a little bit bigger. But this size 4 hook, it's doing the job today. I gotta tell you something. I really gotta tell you this one. We weren't even gonna film this fish because the cameraman is eating his lunch. So we figured, you know what? It's okay, eat your lunch. I hooked into one, said don't bother with the camera. But then I took one look at the carp and I said, okay, grab the camera. It's a big fish. It's another nice fish. And I tell you, with that bobber I could detect, and it was a subtle bite. It wasn't a real aggressive hit. But I could detect it with that bobber. So if you're fishing shallow water, the bobber detection bite is definitely an option. Let's see if we get a look at him again. See what I mean? See what I mean? That's a good fish. Oh, come on, Mr. Carp. They are tiring too. Strong and tiring. You will get a workout. And if you want to get kids hooked on fishing, just take them carp fishing. Never mind kids. Adults. And the reason you got to keep chumming after a little while is because the carp will eat the chum in that area, and you run out of chum. And the other thing I want to mention, if you're fishing for carp and you go 20 minutes without a bite, bring in your line and check it. You got to check it because they will strip your bait and you might not even know it. And you'll be fishing there with a bare hook. So every 20 minutes, bring your line in, have a look at it, and if anything, load it up with more corn. Okay, this is going to be a battle royale right here. I hope I can land him. I hope he's hooked good enough. Come on, carp. Okay. Oh, he's staying down. He just does not want to come in. And I can't really horse him because he's definitely stronger than my line. I've got 15-pound Thundercarbon fluorocarbon line, and this fish is definitely more than 15 pounds. Now, you could land huge fish with light line. It's all in the drag, right there. You've got to use your drag properly, and as long as your drag is set properly and you work that fish properly, you can land huge fish with very, very light line. This one is easily over 20 pounds, and I'm running 15-pound tests, so, but it's no problem at all. Oh, look at that fish. Oh, look at that fish. Oh my. Oh, God. Oh. This is just a riot. I'm so glad we decided to film this fish because I'm just having a riot with this one. And I can't get him in. Oh, I think I hooked the cameraman's line over here. I definitely did. That's okay. Okay, now comes the challenge. Oh yeah. My little bass net, folks. My little bass net. Oh. Yeah, and I've got the cameraman's line all wrapped up in mine as well. Okay. I tuckered him out. Oh. That's a big, thick fish. Oh my. Okay, let me get him in here. Oh, come on. Seriously, folks. That's a heavy fish. Oh, careful, don't break my net. Holy, that's a big, heavy fish. You know what? He's pushing 30 pounds. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that's 30 pounds. Oh my, look at this fish. Oh, just hooked nicely. Oh, I'll get the needle nose just to help me with that little hook. Oh, I definitely need a photo of this fish. Quick photo for Instagram, and then we'll let him go. Okay, there it is. I got an Instagram photo, so I'm happy. I will be Instagramming this fish. I've got him rested on my elbows because it's easy, folks. This is 30 pounds. He's really thick, massive, and heavy. Look at this. I'm struggling with this one. Oh, I am struggling with this fish. Look how wide that fish was. Oh, wow. That fish just made my day. And that's the thing with carp fishing. You can get them small, you can get them huge. But was that ever fun? Worth every minute. I loved it. Got another hookup, folks. There's another hookup. Oh, that was great too. That bobber just went right down. And you know, I want to mention, I spoke about hooks there earlier, but the hook I'm using is also a thicker wire hook. This is no place for a thin wire hook with these carp. Even the smaller carp, they'll just bend a thin wire hook and just straighten it right out like nothing. But this is another decent fish. But yeah, the hook is very, very important. There he is there. Okay. Okay. When they fight, they fight. When they go, they go. And you just gotta let them go and do their thing. They're thick. These fish are really, really thick. And the thing with carp fishing, you know, you don't need a big investment. Look at me fishing with a T-turn, a hook and a sinker, and a bobber. Doesn't get much simpler than that. Simple fishing. You don't need a big investment to go for carp. Anyone can do it, of any age, and it's fun for all ages. What more can you ask for? What a great fishery. Okay, let's see if I can get this guy landed. I thought I had him in here closer, but okay, he's still fairly green. Oh boy. Just when you think you got them, they decide to go. Okay. Oh, I think he saw the net. Okay. Wants to go. Okay, I got him now. In the bag. Oh, he's not that small. I thought it was fairly small, but oh, that's heavy. These are heavy fish. Thick, heavy fish. I mean, oh, look at the tail. You can tell by how thick the tail is. Very, very thick and wide. Powerful fish. Oh, okay, let's get the hook out. Actually, I got a needle nose right here. Might make it just a bit easier because these hooks are not very big, and they don't give you a lot to hold on to. So needle nose does the trick. Okay, actually he's pretty heavy. He's pretty thick and heavy. There's another nice carp right there. Bobber fishing for carp. I don't know, a lot of fun, easy to detect a bite, not expensive to do, everyone can do it. Carp are all around in North America. I gotta say, if you haven't given carp fishing a try, give it a try at least once. Get out there and give it one try, one day out of the year. You know what? I think you'll absolutely love it. And if you like fishing for carp, make sure you get out there because the bite is on, the fight is fantastic, and it's just so much fun. I'm going to keep fishing here because the day is early and I'm having a riot. But I want to thank you ever so much for tuning in to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. Get yourself a bobber, try some carp fishing, and this is the style bobber you want to use right there. Easy for bite detection. I'm actually running a rocket bobber today, and you'll also have some fun. So as always, folks, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, good luck and good fishing. 1 minute. Leave them in there for 60 seconds, and then we're going to take them out. Okay, it's been a minute. Let's shut that down. Let's take our boilies out.